Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Kathy. Now I just got knocked off from doing in the middle of a video, and my phone died, so I'm going to have to pick up this as part 2. And I was just getting to this part where Eric is padding his expenses, okay? Now, he says we're going to pick up where we left off. So this is where we were at. Somebody had just donated $150. I showed how he wasn't really showing all the large donations in a pattern which other people noticed. But he did show this large donation for $150. And Eric, the person said, Eric, I would like this to go to you to help with some of your costs. I know it's not much, but it will help. You're a godsend. And I love your heart. Now, he just announced that he's quitting everything. He's done with the Whitakers. He's done with the project. He's going to go home. And he just called off his, everything, including the house. And people are wondering, hey, where's the money going? But there's still, for some reason, even though Eric's quitting, there's still people giving him money. Now, he thanks this person. And he says he's going to go a step further. He's going to show you his receipts. Okay, so let's show this. And this is where my other video left off right after I did this. So anyway, so let's pick up where we left off.
I would like this to go to you to help with some of your costs. I know it's not much, but you're a godsend. I love your heart.
Thank you, Tammy. I spent a lot of money while I was up here, guys. That's my stack of receipts for the last week, folded up.
Now, I just showed you how he claimed that BJ used the house as collateral. People also noticed that he only reads the donations. Eric is calling it quits and taking money from a dying man. Now, after taking this donation, it's $150 donation, like I just showed, he shows the wallet. He says, this is what I've used these are my receipts over the last week. He's told us over and over 100 different times that this all comes out of my pocket. And actually, he wants you to believe that. That's why people are giving him money to reimburse him for all the money that he's out. When he's actually showed us on live streams that he has gotten reimbursed for $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 sometimes for expenses. I'm going to show in this video, in part 2, how he's padding these expenses. Now, in my opinion. So this should be helpful for the investigator too. Now, and not only has he told everybody that this is all comes out of his pocket, like he's not being reimbursed, but even his friend Douche here, who's standing off to the left off the screen here, is telling everybody, confirming that this is out of his pocket. So listen to his friend.
Tammy, I spent a lot of money while I was up here, guys.
Listen.
That's my stack of receipts for the last week, folded up in my wallet. That's my stack of receipts for the last week, folded up in my wallet.
Out of your own pocket.
Hear it? Out of your own pocket.
Out of your own pocket.
Yep.
And Eric agrees. So to me, this is fraudulent also. Having everybody donating, believing that you're taking everything out of your pocket when he's been very, showed us overboard his spending, you know what I mean? So how is him and his friends want to convince everybody that this is all coming out of Eric's own personal bank account? And so they're trying to reimburse him when he's being already reimbursed. So he's getting reimbursed from the crowd and reimbursed out of the Whitakers' money. And you showed that. Okay, now let's talk about that big old stack of receipts, huh? Now, you might think this is over the last year or maybe the whole summer. No. He said this is for the last week. For the last week. For the last week.
That's my stack of receipts for the last week, folded up in my wallet.
For the last week, okay? Now, this is September 5th, okay? It's Friday, September 5th. Really, what are all those receipts for the last week, Eric? Let's see what he did over the last week. This is Friday the 5th, when he's calling off the deal. What did you do all week, Eric? How'd you get all those receipts? Because today, all you gave was Lorraine a bag of Amish potato chips. $3 maybe, that she didn't ask for. So you didn't spend any money on the Whitakers here. You were with your friends, with the Amish, on a trip that was totally unnecessary, not only unnecessary, but fabricated reasons why you needed this trip with all of your friends. What was there, 5 of you? Something? So you didn't spend any money on the Whitakers here. This day, right? Here. So the 5th you bought a bag of chips. Here you didn't spend any money on the Whitakers. So you had no filming, so there was no nothing spent here on the Whitakers. You didn't film at all. You filmed walking in the back of the property, but you're the one who got the money for the videos, nobody else. So nobody got anything back out of all this money you spent frivolously. Okay, so Wednesday with your buddies, spending money on them. So let's see, Friday you're spending money on you and your buddies. Thursday you missed the restraining order, but you were spending money out of state with you and your buddies. Didn't help the Whitakers, didn't help the Whitakers, didn't help the Whitakers. All your friends flew in. They said that they were all spending everything out of their pocket. So Eric, you better hope there's nothing in your receipts about your friends being reimbursed, because Douche, also known as Mark from California, and Robert Mast that flew in from Idaho, you've told us over and over and over that they're paying for their own self. So this better not be in your reimbursement list there. But you didn't spend anything on the Whitakers here. This day, you brought Timmy down to the adult protection. You did one live stream that didn't cost you anything. You did nothing but make money off of that live stream. But you weren't doing anything. Labor Day, you had that the barbecue with the Whitakers that you complained later you spent $250 on. So you spent $250 on the food and I think the gifts when you were about to turn them all into adult protection the next day. This night, Larry was blackmailed with a can of gas and ended up posting it anyway. Mad about Patrick posting the gas video when he was blackmailed and did what he told he did to do. But the Labor Day is what you spent money on. You said it's $250. So that should be a receipt. That was for production of a video. Okay, so that is legit. And then before that, you were at an Airbnb getting the TVs switched out and new internet on a place you're only going to be for 2 days. And this is the last week that he was there. Here is that Labor Day, Monday. Here he was so the last week where he spent receipts on a TV that he got for free, the $250 for the food. This was a live stream he did for free. He didn't shoot it, so this is the only thing he shot. It was a 4-minute video. I swear it used to be 6 minutes, but anyway, that 4-minute video. Then he did this live stream, which didn't cost him anything, just made money off of this for himself, made money off of this for himself. There's another live stream he did for himself. And then here he is for himself. Him and his buddies. No Whitakers in sight, okay? So this last week, there wasn't any Whitaker content. There wasn't any bowling and haircuts and anything. There was no Whitaker content over the last week. In fact, there was no content except a couple live streams. Now, I would think that you would be reimbursed for content, for what you're spending making content. not for you and all your buddies to stay in an Airbnb. And so where are all these receipts coming from, Eric? You didn't do any content except a couple of live streams that did nothing but make you money. So where are the receipts from? All you did was spend the entire week with your friends who flew in from out of town. Then you left the state, you picked up somebody in North Carolina, then you went to Virginia, and you were all over the place. But you did nothing as far as content and nothing as far as producing anything. You have nothing to show for this. So tell me, Eric, was the reimbursement in that contract, when you're splitting it 3 ways, weren't you supposed to be getting reimbursed for the expenses that you're making doing content, creating content? Now, who said you could be reimbursed for going out of state trying to get the Amish to build a house? Because I don't think that was in the contract. That contract was for splitting the proceeds, the money that was earned and generated off of producing from social media. So you running to these Airbnbs is not, I don't think that would be in the contract, right? But you collected on it. In fact, you collected twice, Eric, twice off of this stupid Amish bullcrap that you let you and your buddies, vacation all week on. So what is all this? What are all these receipts?
I spent a lot of money when I was up here, guys. That's my stack of receipts for the last week, folded up in my wallet.
For the last week. And what does Douche say? Yep.
Out of your own pocket.
Out of your own pocket. But he wasn't done spending, guys. Even though he's backed out of his contract, he's not going to produce any money. He's not going to give any of the money back because they've been asked 10 times. Hundreds of people in the chat asking. Dwayne asked probably 10 times, where's all this money going to go now? So not only that, but he's not done spending, you guys. He's not done giving his buddies a good time. And he doesn't even want to go home yet. Even though he should, right? Everything just got called off. He's had it up to here. He's done making videos, done with the house, done. He's just going to go home. But he doesn't go home. He's not done spending money because he wants a whole nother second trip. Yeah, he wants him and all his buddies to go on another trip. And they want to go on another trip now, even though everything's done. Okay, chapter closed. This is done. For some reason, he wants another trip for him and his buddies. He wants to go back to Virginia, another state. He wants to go out of state with all his buddies. And he wants to stay in the Airbnb over there again in Virginia. And then he wants to go to the Amish store and he wants to spend some more money. Then he wants to, of course, they're going to be eating in all kinds of restaurants and all whatever. Okay, so because he's going to have, so if he spent this much in 1 week with his buddies, okay, 1 week with his buddies.
I spent a lot of money when I was up here, guys. That's my stack of receipts for the last week, folded up in my wallet.
Okay, now most of that is going on that trip, I'm assuming, because it was a lot of money to go out of state. This is all for nothing. It was a charade, so him and his buddies, in my opinion, have a free trip. But they're not done. They want to go on another trip. Now, I believe this was a plan to funnel all the money into YouTube, social media. Okay, I don't believe he was ever going to build the house. My personal opinion, I don't think he was ever going to plan on building a house. I think it was a stall tactic to get all the money into social media. And now, because the social media is already all in his name, okay? He's already gotten control of everything from Patrick. Everything's in his name. All the money coming in seems to be from social media, okay? All donations, and then we're talking thousands of dollars. There has not been another donation placed. Because why? Because the Whitakers would have gotten 100% of it, okay? Like he said, was in the contract. But he wants to make you feel like he's honest because he hasn't taken any donations from the house yet. Okay, but think about this. If Eric never planned to build the house, and that money for the house, what would he do? Okay, let's put it this way. If he never planned on building the money for the house, what would he do? If he never planned on getting money from the house, what would he do? He would have all the money coming into social media first. He would make you hold off on donating to the house. Right now, just donate to us, which will actually literally mean him. Okay? So, don't, and what about the house? Because not only if you donate to the house yet, he won't get this money here. You'll be donating to the house instead of to this social media fund where he has control. All right. Second of all, the money that gets donated to the house, he's not going to be able to touch that money, right? He cannot touch the money going to the house. So why do you think he held off money going to the house for so long? Because he's not going to have control of that money going to the house. He's not going to even be able to get $1 out of that money. According to him, it's going to go to the Amish. It doesn't matter who it's going for. That house money, he's not going to be able to touch. That's why he's telling you, don't put nothing in that house money yet. Just keep it coming into his pocket. All right? So listen. Now it makes sense. All right, here.
Begging, literally begging. Tell me where to send it. Tell me where to send it. I'm like, hold off.
Hundreds of volunteers lined up.
Yeah.
And this too. Douche just said we've had hundreds of volunteers lined up. Raise your hand if you heard anybody talking about hundreds of volunteers lined up. For what? If you had hundreds of volunteers lined up, we wouldn't need to pay somebody to build the house. Do it like Habitat Humanity. Who are these hundreds of volunteers lined up? They keep adding more and more stuff that they had ready to go. Oh yeah, we had the cabin, we had the contracts, we had the permits, we had this, we had that, we had that. And we also had hundreds of volunteers. Hundreds of volunteers? Has anybody heard of volunteers? I never did. Douche keeps adding more stuff, just making up. And Eric just, oh yeah, we had that too.
Hundreds of volunteers lined up.
Yeah, and the volunteers.
To do what?
Donations.
Yeah.
Volunteers, donations.
Want to get involved, and we just wanted to make sure it was accounted for and transparent.
No, he wanted to make sure it all went into social media. Not $1 into the house, because he's not getting any of the house money. Makes sense now?
He was just about there.
Just about there.
He was just
this morning.
there. Those permits.
Permits, yeah, I had permits. Amish.
That was the next step.
That was the next step.
That banking account set up and say,
literally.
Here you go.
Trust him.
Wait, what bank account? You said it was going to go into Amish. What's the thing called? The bank's called something like Bird in the Hand or something like that. They don't deal with banks. They got their own bank. It's called Green Dollar Bills. They have currency.
The Amish, that was the next step. Literally, was getting that banking account set up and saying, "Here you go."
Trust him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the trust and the Amish, but they wouldn't be donating.
The trust and the Amish. The trust, huh? I'm going to talk about the trust. I'm just not going to get sidetracked right now. The trust and the Amish, but they would be donating to the trust.
Money. They would have been donating towards that house, which would have been with the Amish. And so I had to get that.
Double talk.
Towards that house.
It would be donating to the house. That would YouTube money would have been donating towards the house. So the YouTube money would have been going towards the house too, really.
Which would have been with the Amish.
And that would have been with the Amish.
I had to get that set up first, knowing that I had some good Amish people that were like,
now listen to this. Hold on a second.
Made me feel safe.
Listen to this.
Watching over that made me feel safe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they were going to do it, guys. It was like no questions asked. They loved the idea.
Now, Dwayne's got a question.
I definitely don't want to be on the phone with you tomorrow. I would hate to be on that call. Or you're gonna do it.
Now, Dwayne just said, boy, I would, because this is, well, it's Friday. I don't know. I guess he's going to get a hold of the Amish tomorrow and tell him the deal is off, okay? So he says, no deal. Eric's done, breaking the contract, taking the money, going home, and he's got to let the Amish know. So Dwayne, like all of us, would assume that, okay, maybe you'll make a phone call, right? You just call it the Amish and say, you know what? we went home, and somebody that lives in the camper was actually there, and they peeked out the window. So now the deal is off. Okay, it's going to be really hard to explain if there even was a deal, if there even was a bishop, if there even was anything. Okay, so he's called everything off. I guess there's another thing to do. Another loose end is give the Amish a phone call and let them know that the deal is off.
And I definitely don't want to be on the phone with you tomorrow. I would hate to be on that call.
On that call. Or
you're gonna do it face to face.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to go face to face. Yeah, okay. Douche is gonna tell you, yeah, it's got to be face to face. So we're gonna have to go out of state again. We're gonna drive all the way back there, run another Airbnb, hundreds of dollars in gas, and who knows how much more Airbnbs. We're gonna go back there, and we're gonna find the Amish guy, and after a couple days, we're gonna find him, and we're gonna tell him that the deal's off. Like, what? Why would you drive there? But yeah, Eric's gonna decide that. Well, him and Douche already know that. Hey, free trip, right?
Hate to be on that call. We're gonna do it. You're gonna do it face to face.
I mean, you talk about lavish spending, lavish overspending, frivolous spending. You know, padding his everything. Now remember, the deal's off.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, what a tough decision.
You're gonna do it face to face.
I didn't even thought about this.
Jesus,
Jesus, yeah.
I think I'll probably have to do it.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
We're going to travel. It's a little distance away. It's not too terribly bad. I want to go get some more cookies anyway.
He wants to get cookies anyway. He wants to get some cookies anyway. Sure, it's going to cost thousands of dollars to go, go another state out of town, out of state trip. They're actually going from West Virginia to Virginia, so they're going out of state. A whole nother trip. Instead of making a phone call. Mm-hmm.
Jesus, man.
Oh. Yeah. Douche says we're going to have to do it face to face. We're going to do it. You got to do it face to face. So you can't just tell them.
Oh, Jesus, man.
We're going to do it. You're going to do it face to face.
Oh, Jesus, man.
So tough.
I think I'll probably have to do it face to face.
Another trip.
We're going to travel.
More traveling. It's quite a distance. It's just another state away,
We're going to travel. It's just a little distance away. It's not
road trip.
I want to go get some more cookies.
And he wants to get some more cookies. So just think of this. The traveling for all these people. And how many restaurants are they starting? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. And he don't just go to, McDonald's drive-thru. He goes to Ponderosa and stuff. And you don't think that stack of receipts is all this trip from this week? I showed you, he didn't spend it on the Whitakers. It wasn't the week where they got haircuts and bowling and all that other stuff. The only time he spent was that $250 food and, whatever. But, so I think I'll have to do it face to face. We're going to have to travel. You're going to have to eat in restaurants. You're going to have to do another Airbnb. But hey, it's Friday. I just told everybody I just quit. He quit his job. He's going to go on another trip, spend more of the company's money, because that's basically what it is. You just quit your job, Eric, and now you're going to take the company's credit card and go on another trip with all your buddies. And more travel.
It's just a little distance away. It's not too terribly bad. I want to go get some more cookies anyway.
Yeah.
It just sucks, dude. It sucks.
It sucks.
Man.
More trips. Yeah. And it's so funny. He said, it sucks, dude. It sucks, man. I was going to build me a home. I mean, some of us thought that's what he was going to do, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, yeah. So it sucks, you guys, but he's got to go on another trip with his buddies. They're going to have to travel, go to another state, do all that stuff. But, hey, he's going to get himself some cookies. And so, on his trip, he's going to do the same thing he just did this week, and that's going to be his receipts. Now, how can you be racking up another entire trip when you just called the deal off and quit your job? If somebody's working for me and they quit on a Friday, you better not have my expenses and go on another trip. For what? You don't work here anymore. So this is going to rack up more receipts and more expenses, and his friends are going to have a blast. And guess what? He's saying another thing. You're representing everybody paying out of their own pocket, so there shouldn't be any receipts. Why are you hanging on to your receipts? And of course, also, if everything's out of their own pocket, so they're chipping in for this trip, they're chipping in for the Airbnb, they're paying for their own meals, and they're paying for their flights in and out. So they're paying for their own way, huh, Eric? Because that's what you're proclaiming to everybody. And that's why you're getting this extra money, even from a man who is dying. Now I'm going to show you where the dying man is. Right here, he's got $2, keeps throwing out money out. I'm in Appalachian, Kentucky. I think he says admire what you're doing. He keeps taking the dying man's money. Larry controls Betty. Larry's the fox. Mm-hmm. Now remember, he kept saying that Larry was controlling Betty. And now he's saying that he quit. He's saying, no, she's not. She's the mastermind. Now he thinks different. Okay. Oh. For those who have seen my other videos, 2 tumblers in a cup. Here he is. He's double fisting. He's got a plastic water bottle in one hand and his, let's see, that would be cup number 1 with the tumbler with the straw. Double fisting. Oh, the water bottle and the tumbler number 1. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, he's taking my... $5 weeks to live because of end-stage liver and kidney disease, and that is after 2 transplants. Find joy in all things, right? Stress, guys. Puts all in perspective.
Thank you, Blake. Hey, you know what? That is really inspirational to see you even in here and interacting like that, knowing that, it's near the end. I appreciate that. I truly do. And I hope everything goes well for you, bud. Goes well? He just said he's got like a couple weeks to live. Anyway, it's been a couple weeks. So, blessings to that man, whether he's here or not. Shout out to him. I hope he's comfortable. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I think that this too was some type of fraudulent stuff because he took that last trip after he had already quit. And like I said in the part 1, he quit on this day, September 5th. He said he's done. He quit. He's not making any more content. He's not going to help at the house. He's done. He's going home. So this is the official day that he quit his contract, where he actually broke his contract with the Whitakers and with Patrick, and he was about to go spend this much more money. This is what he spent on him and his friends this week without the Whitakers. 1 barbecue with the Whitakers. The rest was all with him and his friends. And now he's going to quit and go on another trip, and he's going to claim those deductions out of this month's money next month, and then end up not paying anybody. So there you go. As I had to do a 2-parter because my phone died on the first part. So if you didn't see part 1, I have a part 1. I didn't want it to be into 2, but anyway, hopefully people see both parts. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope I didn't forget anything. Anyway, thanks for listening and peace.